And it's 6:23, and it's BBC Hereford and Worcester with our general election special. The Conservatives celebrating this morning after winning. Still seats to be declared, but that's it. The Tories home and dry past the threshold to form a majority government. Let's talk to Dr Andrew Meyerson, who's a junior doctor at the Worcestershire Royal Hospital. He's written an open letter criticising Boris Johnson, saying the Prime Minister has failed patients. Also, quite outspokenly, saying that negligence has contributed to their deaths. And I'm guessing that Andrew, you're not terribly happy this morning with this result.
No, it's about our patients. Since in last few years, it's come out that about 5,500 patients across the country have died as a direct result of waiting too long to get into A&E, whether that's waiting too long in our ambulances and waiting too long at our trolleys. They're taking too long to get seen, and there are direct reasons for this. It's not anything that we are doing in hospital differently or incorrectly or wrongly. It's that we don't have enough funding. We don't have enough doctors.
But that's on the way, isn't it?
Yeah,
the Conservative Party, Boris Johnson, has promised to build new hospitals, employ more nurses and spend big on the NHS.
Sure, he has. But it's also true that the Conservative Party has been in power for the last 10 years. And I understand. I'm honest about this. I understand that austerity was a really difficult time for everybody, and that we had to take cuts and everything. But after 10 years in power, there are certain things that they need to that the people in power need to take responsibility for. And after 10 years of gradually the situation getting worse and worse and worse, right now the Royal College of Emergency Medicine just came out with the numbers from October, and they are the worst we've ever seen. The worst in NHS history. Waiting times in A&E are the worst in NHS history. Cancer waiting times are the worst that they've ever been. We are 40,000 nurses short. We are 10,000 doctors short. We have lost 12,000 hospital beds since 2012. So the current government has to take some responsibility for this. And so, yes, I understand that they've made some bold promises in this election, and it will be our job and the job of the public to hold them to account and to make sure that they deliver on this. And I look forward to them making those pledges and coming through with them.
And what's morale like amongst you and your colleagues, anywhere else that you speak to in different hospitals, from practices in the NHS? Are people staying on to say, we still need to help the people, or have people thought, I've had enough?
No, everybody's staying on, staying hours late because we don't go into this profession to make money. I'm from the States. I could have stayed over there to make a lot more money doing this same job, but I happen to love the NHS dearly because I have friends and family back home who have gone bankrupt because they couldn't afford medical bills. Healthcare in the United States is terrible.
Well, Andrew,
I value the NHS and I love it to such a significant degree that I decided to stay here.
As you brought up the American side of things, we probably ought to mention this. Donald Trump's tweeted because he tweets a lot, doesn't he, as we all know, in the last few minutes, saying, congratulating Boris Johnson, and he says the UK and the US will now be free to strike a massive new trade deal after Brexit. Do you think the NHS will be part of that trade deal?
I think, in all honesty, if you look at the American companies who want to do business in the United Kingdom, that the NHS being such an enormous employer, being such an enormous part of our society here, and the amount of money that goes into our hospitals, that goes into healthcare in the United Kingdom, of course they are going to want to get their hands on it, that's an understandable position for them to take.
Boris Johnson has said that Boris Johnson and the Conservative Party have said that it isn't up for grabs and it's not going to be part of any trade deals. Are you saying you don't believe them?
I'm saying that Boris Johnson doesn't have an excellent track record of being honest, and that this is something that we need to be very careful to scrutinize appropriately, because he's not somebody that can be trusted.
When are you next on shift?
Another 8 hours.
Get some sleep.
Yeah.
Andrew, thanks for talking to us this morning.
Can I just say something really quickly?
Very quickly. Yeah.
I love Worcester. I love Worcestershire Royal Hospital. It is a safe hospital. It's a great hospital. But if 34 ambulances are queuing outside and we can't get our patients in, that represents a significant risk to patient safety that is just unacceptable. And so that's the only reason I'm speaking up, is because people are getting hurt, people are dying on trolleys, and we need to do something about it. And so, look, this is not the result that a lot of people working in A&E had hoped for, but we are going to continue to do the best job that we can, and we look forward to this government delivering on their promises.